That wasn't the plan. Hello, Courtney.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to That Wasn't the Plan. This is our first episode.
We're gonna kill it.
We are going to kill it.
Like that cancer.
Yeah, fuck that cancer. Seriously. Where do we start?
I'd like to hear the actual cancer, the real plug you've got for it.
That cancer is so awesome. Like, am I just plugging it away? So
No, I mean like your story.
my story. All right. So for everyone out there listening, I was diagnosed almost 4 years ago now with breast cancer, 2 types of breast cancer in my left breast. One type was DCIS, which is common. The other is also common, but not as common. It was invasive ductal carcinoma. It is hormone positive, and that means estrogen and progesterone positive. So the hormones in my body were creating the cancer and trying to kill me. I had seen a dent in my left breast for at least a year and kind of thought nothing of it. I had known that my sister had a similar dent. She had breast cancer. She was diagnosed when she was 28. And that was, gosh, Courtney, you remember this, like 22 years ago when we went and did some Susan G. Komen walks. And yeah, I didn't think anything of the dent, though. I've just thought my sister had it. I have it. It's probably my mom has it. Just nothing to think of. So I just thought it was normal. And one Christmas I was home. It'll be Christmas coming up here 4 years ago. I was kind of drinking with my sister-in-law, who is a nurse, and she has worked for decades in the oncology ward. And we were just talking about, what it's like to be a woman getting older and the changes, achy this and how it's not easy. I was like, yeah, and I've got this dent in my left breast. And she said, you should probably get that checked out. And that's kind of when I had my first freak out.
Right after she said that to you, you were like,
no. Yeah. I right then and there tore
Just
off all my
screamed.
clothes and ran around her living room just terrified.
Look at it!
Yeah. It's exactly what happened.
I mean, I might have done that. I get it.
I mean, she's a nurse.
Yeah.
I should have had her look at it and feel it, but she did not. She didn't offer it up, and I did not want to go there.
She didn't
with
offer
her.
it up. She wasn't like, want me to take a peek?
Snapping on the rubber gloves.
Yeah. She just has them in her purse. She's a real nurse, man. I bet she does. Most nurses should have them just because people are going to be like, will you look at this thing on my anus? Because I'm concerned.
Yeah.
If I had a nickel.
My anus.
I can feel it with my finger. Can you take a peek at it? Holy cannoli.
It's this dingly thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I came back to Seattle, and I just kind of sat on it for a couple of weeks. And then finally I had enough courage in the shower, and I felt around with soap. And yeah, there was a lump there. So I think that was on like a Friday, or maybe it was a Sunday morning or something. And I really did freak out. I called my brother immediately, and I was like, look, I felt this lump. I'm freaking out. And you just...
That's sweet that your brother's your call. Like, you called him. You're like...
I know. We're very close. And then I just went down a spiral into a dark rabbit hole that day. And
were you laying around crying? Were you on your phone looking up stuff? Like, I'm trying to picture it.
No, I think I cried. I definitely sat there and stared, and just, you go to places that you don't normally think about. Death. What's going to happen to my house? Like, are my finances in order? What will happen to my cat? All of a sudden, this is where I went. And I was like, I'm not going to live. I'm not going to be here to see this. My niece and nephew. I'm never going to get married, find the love of my life, all of that. So the next morning, I think I probably went and bought a bottle of vodka or a bottle of wine or something.
Atta girl.
Got drunk.
Svedka? What is your vodka choice? I'm curious.
I usually go Tito's these days if I'm drinking, but I stopped buying alcohol for the house because if it's here, I'm just going to drink it, and I don't need to drink that much anymore. And honestly, it makes me sick these days. So
Good.
I usually have if I'm going out to dinner or doing something, it'll be like one, maybe two, sometimes a little bit more, but I try not to because I feel like shit. But that's it. Those are stories for another day, for another episode.
Yeah.
Next morning, Monday morning, I called the hospital and said I need to get a mammogram. And they were like, you can't get a mammogram without your doctor's approval because at that point in our history in the United States here, I wasn't 45, which was the age in which you can go get mammograms. I was only 43. They said you can get in with your regular doctor, your general practitioner in a month.
Oh my.
That's the earliest available. So I had to wait for a month. I went in, saw her, she felt a lump, and then she's like, I'm going to get you a mammogram. So that happened within, I think it took she was like, we'll schedule you for a mammogram, but I couldn't get in for another month. And at this point, I'm living with this thing that only my brother and then my friend Becky up here knew about. I didn't tell anybody else because I just didn't want to raise the alarm.
Oh, man, I would have.
It could have been.
Big time.
I found a lump. Help me!
For real, sorry.
I don't know. And so finally I got in for my mammogram and it showed a dark mass. And they were like, we need to get you in for an emergency biopsy. So finally, within 2 or 3 days, they got me in for a biopsy. And that's when it hit. I'm lying on this biopsy table and they just put a little numbing cream on the area. And then they come out with what looks like, one of those big industrial glue guns. It looks like a fucking gun and it's got the tube on it and out.
Yeah.
It looks like that, except it's got the claw thing. So basically what it is, it's a needle. It's a big gauge long needle that goes in and it's got a claw thing and they claws out sections of the mass.
How big of a claw is this?
It's tiny.
But
it's big enough. Yeah. And every time it claws, it's this big gun. It's like gunk, gunk, gunk. And it's this big pressure. And I lost my shit lying there on this table. I was crying, hysterically crying. I am shaking. I am blotched red. They had to stop the procedure. And the nurses were like, are you going to be okay? And they're like, do we need to go get somebody? I'm like, nobody's here with me. Nobody told me I needed a driver or somebody to come and escort me. And they're like, yeah, you should really have somebody with you. And I was like, this is all new for me. I'm single. I don't live with anybody. I drive myself. I do everything.
Mm-hmm. Independent woman.
That's right. Independent woman. So that was traumatizing. I go home, I calm myself down, and I think we'll get results within a week to 10, 12 days or something. So then another week passes and I get it's a Saturday morning. And I remember I'm eating breakfast at 8 a.m. and I get this call and it was a local number. And I was like, I think I am expecting a call, so I should probably answer it. And I answered it and it was this lovely nurse in this very thick Russian accent, but I could understand her and she was just the sweetest could be. But just coming across in Russian, she was like, and you've got cancer.
You've got the cancer.
Yeah. And I just sat there for a moment and I was like, okay. And she's like, this is what you need to do. Do not go online. Do not go to any other she gave me 3 websites to go to. I think cancer.com, breastcancer.com, and the American Cancer Society or something. Right. She's like, these are the 3 websites you're allowed to go to. If you start Googling, you're just going to go to a really dark place. You're going to see a lot of information that doesn't pertain to you. Just don't do it for now. Save yourself.
Thank goodness they have a person that tells you that right from the jump. That's helpful.
It was very helpful. And I didn't. So I listened to her and she's like, on Tuesday, somebody's going to call you and they're going to schedule a full day of doctor's appointments for the following Tuesday or whenever it will be. And granted, this was right out of COVID. So Washington State, or Seattle to be specific, had just lifted their quarantine, literally had just lifted their quarantine. So people are now getting out, but everything is still video conference and doing all that. So she's like, we're not meeting in person anymore. You'll have a 6 to 8 video conferences all in one Tuesday. Recommend like you bring a friend or two so they can listen and take notes for you and that sort of thing. So I got off the phone with her and I called my brother and I was like, look, I've got cancer. Please don't tell the rest of the family. And then I called my friend Becky and I was like, I've got cancer. And she's like, let's go out for a drink. And I was like, absolutely. Let's go do that. So some time passes. I go through all these video conferences and they're like, we're going to do a number of genetic tests for you that will give us a broader picture of what's really going on. So at this point, I still hadn't told anybody in my family. I had told maybe 3 friends.
Why is that? Why did you keep it so?
Because my mom and my sister, as lovely as they are, tend to get a little hysterical. And
I would be the sister, the mom, on my side, my family. That's how I would be described. So I get it.
I wanted to approach my family with all the facts.
Gotcha.
This is the type of cancer I have. These are the surgeries I'm going to have. This is the treatment plan I'm going to have. They don't live here. They live in Colorado. So I just didn't want to leave any loose ends. I wanted everything to kind of be tied up before I told anybody. So I, went and I had these appointments and then I had 8 vials of blood drawn for all my genetic testing. I don't eat beef. And immediately after I went and got a cheeseburger because I was like low in iron. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
So I got all my blood drawn on a Monday. That Friday, I'm driving downtown to go to a comedy show.
That's smart.
And yeah, it was great. My friend Sarah Beth took me out. We went out for some dinner and then we went to a comedy show. On my way driving there, I get a call from the hospital and they're like, did you get your genetic testing, the vials and blood drawn? And I was like, yeah, I did that Monday. And they're like, okay, we thought so, but they've lost your blood.
Whoa.
I'm like, how the fuck do they lose 8 vials of blood? She's like, yeah, we're not sure. And I was like, okay, they're probably on the black market somewhere. Anyway, she's like, you need to go in right now and get them redrawn. And I was like, I can't go now. I can go Monday. So anyways, everything kept getting pushed back. There were all these little things that kept getting everything pushed back. I finally get my genetic testing back. I finally, have an in-person appointment with my surgeon and we're on track. So it was about a week before my first surgery. I'll just preface it with that. I finally told my family. I called my dad and I said, hey, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, I'm driving. And I was like, oh, okay. Are you with Mom? He's like, no, your mom's home resting. And he's like, why? What's up? And I was like, well, I guess I'll just tell you. And then, I can tell Mom too. And I was like, I've got cancer. And he paused for a moment. And I said, and here's the thing. It's this type of breast cancer. I'm going in for my first surgery next week. I've got my genetic testing. Like I've got everything lined up. Everything's, as good as it can be. He said, let me get home and then you can call your mother. I called my mom and she was like, oh, okay. And my mom, she was having some health issues at the time.
Bless her. Oh,
God. Doing her own thing. She's like,
fun.
okay, well, you just let us know what you need.
Make friends.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll let you know what I need. And all I could think back to was when my sister had cancer 20 some odd years ago, how they were there for her night and day. My mom offered to shave her head in solidarity with my sister and all of this. And of course, immediately you're just like, well, why am I not getting the same fucking attention? But I had to nip that in the bud immediately because I can't compare anything. So much time has passed. I'm a mature adult. My sister was very young. I don't live in the same city. My mom is not doing well these days. I was like, Emily, you just have to drop it. And so I did.
Good for you.
Yeah, it took a minute, but I was able to come to terms and be like, that's okay. I have family out here and they're the ones who are going to be supporting me. So going for my first lumpectomy, because at this point they had said, you're going to have a lumpectomy and some radiation and you're going to be done. And I said, great. What's the recovery like for the lumpectomy? And they're like, it's going to take about a month. So, you might want to don't plan anything major. You're probably going to want to take 2 weeks, maybe a month off work. And I'm a freelancer, have been, my entire career. So I was like, all right, I just won't take any jobs for that month, even though the phone kept ringing for jobs.
Gosh.
And I had to tell everybody no. And I was like, shit, of course. Like when I need the money to pay for all of this and to help support myself for, the months coming when I'm probably not going to be working much, I have to turn down all this work.
Were you telling them that you had cancer? I can't. I've got cancer.
A few people I did. Yeah, in fact, I did because I was like, look, I was just diagnosed with cancer. I have to go in for a surgery. I'll be back up and running in, I don't know, like a couple weeks.
Yeah, just get the knowledge out there.
Yeah.
People will know that what's going down. That's what I would do for sure.
Yeah, so I think at this point, like my first surgery was at the end of April. And so I was like, all right, come June, I'm going to be, back working again. I come home from my first surgery. They give me Percocet, which is the devil's drug. I hate that drug so much. Yeah.
I don't think it's so bad.
Yeah.
We see it in different ways.
I like Vicodin.
I like it too.
But anyways, I had developed, and I'm at a loss for what it is, but it makes your heart palpitate like crazy and you think you're going to die, and it can actually kill you.
Is it an opiate?
No, but it's something that the Percocet does to your system, and I can't for the life of me think of what the term is. If I can remember, I will pop that back in here somewhere. So I was having major side effects with that. My friend Carrie offered to stay the night with me that first night, which was godsend. I had these friends taking me to the hospital, dropping me off. Other friends picking me up, bringing me home. Other friends like buying me groceries, stocking my fridge.
Heck,
Carrie came over. She's like, I'm going to go buy a bottle of wine and sleep on your couch. And I was like,
Carrie,
whatever. As
girl.
As long as there's a human here, I'll be fine. Except
how
I
does
wasn't.
Carrie spell her name, with a C or a K?
Karri.
Hell yeah,
go Carrie. She was one of many who stayed the night with me. Becky also stayed the night. Sarah Beth, LaDawn,
LaDawn, me, Carrie Beth.
So, first surgery, and they're like, we'll get the results within the week. They get the results. I get a call from my surgeon. He's like, oh, your margins still aren't clear. We have to go back in for a second lumpectomy. And I was like, well, fuck.
Your margins aren't clear.
Yeah. So the margins around where they think they've taken the tumor out, the other cells and the other tissue around that tumor still have signs of the tumor.
Gotcha.
Or like they didn't take out enough of the tumor to get like the clear bits on the outside. I'm not a doctor. If you're a doctor or nurse and know how this works, please chime in, email us, let us know.
Like, but it's saying, like, the margins aren't clear.
Yeah, it's something to that effect.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, shit, because we had discussed getting a mastectomy, and I was like, I've seen so many botched boob jobs from mastectomies. I just didn't even want to do that, especially when they're like, your cancer's not that bad, your tumor's not that big. We'll just do one lumpectomy and radiation and be fine. So I was like, great, like leave my tits alone. So now I'm scheduled for a second surgery, and things are starting to get a little real. The day before I'm supposed to go in, they call and say, now we're pushing it out another day.
Woof.
And I have to, now get a hold of friends and be like, because this is Monday through Friday and everybody's got a job. So I'm really relying on people here.
Now, is this an outpatient procedure?
Yeah. So I go in the morning or whenever it is. They drug me up, do the surgery, and then I'm home by the end of the day.
Drug you up, or do they put you down?
No, they put me down completely.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
I'm completely out and under.
You're not just watching like...
No. So go in for my second surgery, do the whole thing, the whole shebang, blah, 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 come out of that. I'm home resting. Another week goes by. I get a call from my oncologist, who I had never expected to hear from again because everyone was like, you don't need chemo. And so I get a call from my oncologist, and he's like, all right, your cancer's a bit more aggressive than we had originally thought. Your oncotype score is really high for your age. We're gonna have to do chemo. So we need to schedule you to come in. It's like a 2-hour consultation to go through everything chemotherapy. So I get that on the books. I'm bringing my friend Amy with me.
Hell yeah, Amy.
And we're literally in my car driving to the hospital to go to this 2-hour consultation for chemotherapy when my surgeon calls, and he said, your margins still aren't clear. We have to do a third lumpectomy. And I was like, all right, I'm literally in the car right now on my way to the chemo consultation. You need to call my oncologist and tell him this. Because I don't know what I was getting a little feisty with them. I was like, you need to tell them what's going on because I don't know what to do. Do I go in for this thing and do I push that back because I can't do chemo until I've healed from surgery? And if I have to go back in for another surgery, that's another month out. And I'm already on the books for chemo like next week. So I find they do their thing and they call me and they're like, turn around, go home. Like, you can't go to this chemo consultation right now. Week. And so within 3 or 4 days, I go back in for another surgery. Same deal. They put me out under, I have to call friends, stay the night, who's available. At this point, it's just becoming it's becoming Groundhog Day is what it is. And at this point,
Yeah.
like I had started all of this. I found my lump in January. It is now the middle of May.
Oh, yeah.
By the time I'm doing my third surgery, and the disease is not out of my body. My Aunt Margaret, who was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly after my sister was, but hers wasn't as invasive. She only had to do one lumpectomy and some radiation. She calls me up out of the blue and she was like, "Hey, sweetheart, I'm coming to stay with you."
Margaret!
Yeah, I know. And I was like, all right. She's like, when are you done with your surgery? When are you going to be healed? When are you starting chemotherapy? She's just the sweetest.
Margaret!
I know. She came out a couple days before my first round of chemo, and I got her settled into the guest room here.
Which is lovely, by the way.
Oh, thanks. So go through my third surgery, and I finally go to my chemo consultation, this time by myself because no one was available to come with me. And, it's all the do's and don'ts that you can't do during chemotherapy. Like everything in your house has to be clean at all times, yourself included. There can't be any bacteria, germs anywhere because your immune system
for sure,
is completely shot. I've got a kitty. I can't clean her litter box. I have to have somebody else do it.
Yeah. But
yep.
Hi,
so,
everybody.
or I have to wear like gloves and a mask because, I live alone. I have to be able to do it at some point because there is a toxin in cats' feces that can really make you sick. And it's the same goes for pregnant women. They advise against
cleaning the lit.
Cleaning the kitty box. Yeah, Aunt Margaret comes out. She came out just in time for me to get the god-awful chest port put in.
Oh,
and I think I complained about that every fucking day for 6 months. That thing hurt like a motherfucker. They give you twilight sedation when you go in for it. It's not it's not a full surgery.
So
you're not really awake, but you're kind of in the room, and then they, put you out. So it's this thing, they slice open your chest and they put this thing in, and then you have 2 incisions in your chest. I don't know if you can still see any scars.
I bet
maybe
you
not.
can.
Anyway, and then it's like a tube that wraps around and it kind of goes down into your heart a little bit so that when they pump you full of the chemo drugs, it immediately goes to your system. And it's also to help with like intravenous, so you don't have... Yeah. It's not going into your veins every time because it can really mess those up. So the chest ports are amazing. They're a good thing. But for me, the way they attached it to the muscle or whatever my body just did not agree. And I couldn't lift anything more than 10 pounds ever. So I couldn't pick up my cat because she's a good hefty 20 pounds.
She's a 20-pound cat?
Yeah. But when I adopted her, she was 18 pounds. So that's not on me.
Oh. But she did gain 2 more pounds when she got her. So.
We were stuck inside. I adopted her the Thanksgiving before COVID. So she only really had 3 months of me not being home. And then we were forced in quarantine together for 2 years. Yeah. And all we each did was eat and drink.
It's what the world did. It's what we all did.
It's what we all did, except for you. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, she gained a couple pounds. But anyways, I couldn't pick up my cat. It was just hard to do anything with that chest port. So
does she let you pick her up regularly? Are you able to pick up that cat regularly? I was going to say, she's a little fickle, isn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't really like it that much, which is fine. She's a little fickle that way.
She's a fickle pickle, that girl.
Yeah, a fickle pickle. So we go in for my first round of chemo, and my nurses there are very pleasant and nice. I could not do the cold cap therapy that's offered to people to help keep and preserve your hair. My insurance didn't cover it. It's very expensive, and I just didn't have the money. And I thought, well, fuck it. I'll just lose my hair. So going for the chemo, came home. I felt pretty good that day. But the strangest thing after my first round of chemo was I lost my taste buds immediately. I came home to some beautiful raspberries that I had just purchased, and I couldn't taste them at all. And I asked my aunt, I was like, do these taste off? And she's like, no, they're delicious. And I was like, oh my God, there goes my taste buds. Next morning, woke up and I was shitting blood. That's when that began.
Wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't bad. I did call my nurse because they were like, if that happens, call us. And I explained like the situation and what it looked like. And she was like, that's pretty normal. But my guts, I was running to the bathroom every 10 seconds. And didn't really stop until a month or 2 after chemotherapy was done. So I started chemo in June. I wasn't done until September. Because my chemo was on a 21-day cycle. So every 21 days I'd go in, and it's kind of like a negative bell curve where you get chemo and you start to feel really, really shitty. And then you hit rock bottom around like day 12-ish. And then you start to feel better. And then you go back in for chemo again. And then you do that.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to lose my hair. So about 5 days after my first chemo, I went in and got my hair completely chopped off into like a little cute pixie cut, sort of pixie little boy cut. And I shouldn't have done that because it was like I had to pay my stylist, like $100 or $200 to make this cute cut and 3 days after that, in the shower, I woke up one morning and there was hair all over my pillow.
Oh my God.
I went in the shower and I could feel it running down my body. And then I looked in the mirror and I had this bald patch right here. And I started to lose it all up front. Like, nice. That's where.
So you still had it around?
I still had it I had like male pattern baldness. It was really sexy. So we still had errands and stuff to run. So I'm like running around town like with a giant comb over. Yeah. It was really, I have pictures. I'll put them up.
A giant comb.
It was fucking hysterical. And then a few days after that, I called up Becky and Sarah Beth and I said, Sarah Beth, bring over your husband's buzzer. Like, we're going to go on my front porch.
Bring over your husband's buzzer.
We're going to buzz my head. So they came over.
They buzzed
my head and just got rid of the rest of the hair because it's just unsightly. And then I had a buzz cut. It wasn't completely gone, but then over the course of the next week, it mostly was gone, except, you don't lose all your hair. You still have like some of these little babies here and there, but they're not long. I mean, it's just like little mouse fur that you get. But
what was it like the first time you just rubbed your own bald head? Like, aside from the trauma, the cancer, it's awful. Like, was it kind of liberating? Like,
it was liberating. And I was like, oh, so this is what I look like bald, and it wasn't bad.
No, my gosh, Emily.
It did take a minute to get used to. I think the hardest thing was losing most of my eyebrows and my eyelashes. So, because those are the things that, make your face pop. And if you identify as a female, those you want to put makeup on, and it helps you feel better about yourself. That's why we wear makeup.
How will anyone know that you're surprised?
Precisely. I sent you a picture of me and you drew some on.
That's right. I
did. Really hot.
Mm-hmm. Anytime, sister.
Chemo, it kills everything in your body. It kills all your healthy cells, everything else. You really just feel like shit. But one of the bonuses was I didn't have to shave my legs for 6 months. I mean, it got rid of all the hair downstairs. I was just like
bare bunny,
bald. Yep.
Bald it was the day you were born.
It was really nice. So
was it just smooth? Like, or was it like you'd shave so it was
No, it was smooth.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there were a few stragglers. Oh, I think I had a soul patch. Oh, I wrote that down in one of my diaries. It was like
that's awesome. He plays the saxophone on Tuesday nights.
He did. It was like
yeah. That was your vagina just now. I did that.
It was. He's very talented.
He's so talented.
I don't know why it's a he.
His name is Flash.
Yeah. My aunt, luckily, she stayed here for a month. So she was here for 2 rounds of
chemo. Margaret is her name.
Bless her heart.
Thank you, Margaret.
Was godsend. We took walks almost every day. She helped me. She cleaned. We went out. It was just really nice.
The social connection, I think, probably was the most beneficial.
It did. Like, it was... We really bonded. She's become one of my dear friends.
Absolutely.
And I just love and adore that woman to death. And she's going to be a guest on our podcast because
I'd love to meet Margaret.
Yeah, she's got a story too.
Heck yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah, we all do. It's life is, full of fuck.
Life is full of fuck.
It really is.
That wasn't the plan.
It wasn't the plan. So the plan was, after Margaret left, my brother was going to come out for 2 weeks and fucking help me out.
And fucking help me out.
Mm-hmm. I told him, I said, don't go get COVID. And his wife, being the nurse, was like, James, don't go get COVID.
Don't
3 days before he's scheduled to come out, I get a call no, I didn't even get a call. I got a text message. Said, I got COVID. I'm sorry. I can't come out. And that was basically it. I don't think he called, and I know he felt like shit. I know that Mandy, my sister-in-law, his wife, gave him so much shit for that.
Of course,
that I was like, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. I understand. And I did, because it's a shitty thing. And I know he tends to hold it in. And I know that he gave himself enough shit that I wasn't going to be the one to be like, you dick. Because I didn't feel that way. Honestly, I was just like, all right, this is just something else that I have to now like pivot and embrace. And embrace the suck and find somebody else to help me out. So luckily, my friend LaDawn, she was able to come and pick me up and take me to chemo that day and stay the first night. And then I think my friend Sarah Beth or Becky like stayed for a couple nights, and that was really nice, because it is the first few days after chemo that you are susceptible to getting really sick, and your internal organs can,
melt through your butt,
basically. And that's what they like to do. So it's nice to have somebody here.
That's what they like to do. We're gonna melt out through her butt flash. Check it out. He's like,
time goes on, and I'm still not allowed to have anybody in the house because COVID is still out there and all of the other illnesses and whatnot. But luckily, it's summertime, so I have a beautiful front porch.
You do.
I live in a very small house, but I do have this front porch, and in the summertime, that
small
turns into
house.
My house is 10,800 feet.
2 billion feet. It's tiny. Square feet.
Jesus, that's a fucking mansion. No, it is not quite 1,100 square feet. So it is small. It's smaller than most apartments. Anyways, we had a lovely little birthday party for myself on the front porch. And my dad came out. He stayed with me for 2 weeks. Cool. So that was interesting, spending like that much time with one-on-one with my dad that I haven't done since I was, 24 when I was living at home. Yeah. We had a good time. Oh, he came out for the 4th round of chemo. Yeah, that's what he was here for. And then he left. And I think 2 days later, you came out to see me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just had like enough time to clean the house a little bit, get ready for you to come out. And you came out for like 15 days or something. Yeah.
It was a good haul. We had a good old time.
Yeah, it was lovely. And you weren't there for any chemo, but you did go to a couple appointments. One of them was my first radiation consultation, because I had to start radiation. After chemo, they give you like a month or so, or they did for me at least. Maybe it was 6 weeks before I started radiation.
And I have to say, that place that we went that had the aquarium.
Yeah.
And it had a puffer fish in it, and the puffer fish name was Gloria.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Gloria. Because she's swimming around. She's like, oh my gosh. I don't know.
That's right. So every time I'd go in, I'd sit right with my back to the aquarium, and I'd take pictures of the aquarium and me. Yeah.
And with Gloria.
Yeah. So then you left, and I was by myself for a while, and then I started radiation. And as much as chemo really does mess with you internally, and it kills a lot of brain cells, and you slowly become kind of stupid. And I don't know that I've ever bounced back from that. I still am at a loss for all my words. I feel like an idiot most days.
I'm just
all right. Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm like, that is a fact. I just like to use chemo as an excuse.
Absolutely. I use perimenopause as an excuse. Yeah. I was so much smarter before. Well, it does a number on your brain, of course, obviously.
Yeah. And I go in for radiation every single day, Monday through Friday, for 6 weeks. They basically put you in a microwave, and then they zap you. So I'm laying there on this steel table, just topless, and you can't move because my cancer was on the left side of my body, and that's where your heart is. And so I have to hold my breath for like 45 seconds so they can zap me. And because I have all these tattoos now, radiation tattoos.
Oh, right.
Because they have to line things up perfectly just so my heart doesn't get the brunt of the radiation. And I had to go in for an echocardiogram and all this sort of stuff just to make sure my heart's okay. It was a procedure. And then I was done with radiation. That was the last of my treatment. And that's when you rub your eyes and you're like, all right, well, that was 9 months of my life. Now what? And that's when the recovery starts. And that's when things get really dark. And that's when the healing begins.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say healing, because I went to a really dark place for probably 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like extremely dark, because the whole time during cancer treatment for me, and everybody is different, everyone has a different story to tell, I was just getting from one appointment to the next, one day to the next. I kind of knew what to expect. For the first few months after I told everybody, I had friends reaching out, helping me, offering their help and support. But, by the second round of chemo, people had basically stopped calling. You're not receiving the daily thinking of you, that sort of thing. Everyone's gone back to their lives. And so, you're just kind of supporting yourself. And for anybody that's going through that alone, I understand 100%. It is tough to do it by yourself, to manage a house by yourself, especially being a freelancer. Like, I wasn't able to work. I had a GoFundMe, thank God, that was able to pay for my bills, my mortgage, and just food on the table. And it wasn't that much of a fund, but I am so grateful to everybody that did donate because it kept me afloat. I don't know what I would have done. I was unable to work because I work in production, the film industry. And when I take a job, it is, 60, 70, 80-hour weeks. I'm on my feet. It's nonstop emails. It's a very stressful job. And it's usually stressful for, on average, 3 weeks. That's usually the duration of a job that I'm on, unless, I'm on a movie or TV show or something, which are a lot longer. But unfortunately, I couldn't work. So here I am, done with radiation. And I went down to San Diego to support my friend Becky. She swam around Coronado Island. And
Heck yeah, Becky!
I know. Yeah.
Woo!
So yay.
Becky.
She's such an amazing endurance swimmer. So went down there and we're standing there cheering her on. And I'm bald at this point. I had literally just had my chest port taken out 2 days prior to me getting on the flight and going down there. So I have a big, bandage right here on my chest. And I'm standing there on Coronado next to the ferry line and we're watching Becky swim around. And then other people are lining up to get on the ferry to go back to San Diego. And this woman and her daughter come up to me and they said, "Is that a scarf from a chest port?" And I have a ball cap on, but I'm bald. Like, you could tell that I have no hair.
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, I just had it taken out a couple days ago." And the daughter's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm like 4 years out of," and she was young. She was, I think maybe she had, I can't even recall what kind of cancer she had had, but she was young. She was late teens, maybe early 20s.
Okay, we're talking
that.
like pre-pubescent young.
Well, she wasn't like, yeah. No, I would say she was probably 19-ish. But she was like, "Here, you should start taking biotin. Here's the shampoo that I really liked. And if you put argan oil," and I was just flooded with emotions that I can't even express. Just having random strangers come up to you and be like, "I'm so sorry. I know what you went through, but here's how, like, here's some stuff. Here's the good stuff. Like, this is what really helped me." And it was just one of those freak encounters in life where had I not been there right then and there, I would have never learned about this. I wouldn't have made this beautiful connection with this mother and daughter. And it just made me think, it gave me some light to say, there is this young woman out here who's gone through hell when she was much younger than me. And she's living her life. Maybe maybe they were down there for college or something. I'm not sure. I came home from San Diego, and I think that's when I started to fall into a dark hole. And that's a story for another time, recovery. That was kind of it. That's my cancer story, just kind of skimming the surface. I've got 3 of these journals that are full of, basically like how I felt, things that I had said, things that people had done for me, things I liked, things I hated.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask me anything.
You have to pick one. What was the worst thing about cancer? In one sentence.
The recovery.
Okay.
Because you want to know why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone preps you for your surgeries, your chemo, your radiation. They tell you what you can and can't eat. They tell you what to do, what not to do. Once you're done, people forget about you. There is no consultation for you're done with this. You still have all these toxins in your body. Your body has been through hell. Your mind isn't right because it's killed a bunch of brain cells too. Your body's been radiated. You've been in a microwave. You've gone through this trauma that you haven't even processed. And
now you're done. Bye.
Bye. Nothing. There is there are support groups out there. Thanks to you, I got into one, but there's nothing that your insurance or your doctors or anybody will do. Nobody's having that conversation about recovery, and it is way harder than the treatments. Because every single day you're like, what am I supposed to do? Who am I? I am a different person.
Yeah. It's a death. It's a loss.
It's a death. It's a loss. I kept saying that cancer came to me for a reason, and that reason was to teach me to wake up. I was living a life that wasn't healthy for me. I was working around the clock. I've always been healthy. I ate well. I exercised near daily. I took care of what I thought I took care of myself, but I was drinking too. I was drinking way more than I should be. And that was a coping mechanism to deal with the stress of my job. You put that kind of stress on somebody and, doing it all alone too. I keep coming back to that. But life is hard to do by yourself. That's why, we're supposed to live in these communities, these clans, these tribes, whatever you want to call it, villages, because we're not meant to be alone. But I had isolated myself enough. I had thought, here I am, the strong, independent woman. And then we go into COVID, quarantine, and I was like, it's fine, it's great. But right when we were coming out of quarantine and I was starting to date again or feel good about myself, I get cancer, and then you can't see anybody, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So back into quarantine for another at least a year.
Ask time. How long did you go without having sexual intercourse?
Intimate relations? After cancer?
During.
Oh.
And after. Has it happened yet, Emily?
How many fingers and toes do I have?
20 years?
I'm a virgin.
You look good.
It was a while. It was a couple years. And I think I signed up for a dating app shortly after.
Which one?
I forget which one. Maybe Bumble
Cupid?
Or something.
Oh,
no.
Bumble, yeah. Okay, Cupid is like
That's
old.
like way old. Although I did have success on there. I did sign up for a dating app when I was still bald, like my hair had started to regrow. Like this was in the new year after, so it had been about a year after I was diagnosed. And I was like, all right, well, some guys will find it cute.
Absolutely.
No. So I would think I was on for like a month, and then I realized that no, that's not happening.
Can we go over the pictures you were using as your profile pictures? Because I think we could maybe... We'll dig into that on another episode.
And that's kind of when I realized, I was like, actually, I'm in no position to be dating anybody. I can barely take care of myself. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, but it's a way to tap out, to kind of just like do something else. So.
And I was like, I need to work on myself right now. I need to figure out who this new person is, because, I'm this little worm. I was just worming my way through life. And then I built myself this chrysalis of cancer.
Yes.
And I'm trying to come out as a butterfly, but I'm not quite there yet. Even to this day, I feel like I'm finally getting there.
Yeah.
But I'm not
like
quite
you're
there
a
yet.
mosquito hawk.
That's right. So, I'm sorry, that was a very long-winded answer to your question. What was the hardest thing?
Yeah.
It was
what
recovery.
Was the best thing?
I'd say the best thing
was... The bald bunny?
Losing the bush. Having friends either come back into my life that I hadn't spoken to in years, and then also having friends leave my life that I was holding on to for whatever reason, that you realize are not serving you anymore.
Which is so nice.
Which is to say,
adieu.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best of luck. If our paths cross again, I will say hello, but you are not meant to be in my life anymore. And
so long,
I am...
farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Precisely. It was amazing. I feel like you and I reconnected. I reconnected with my aunt, a few other people.
It was time with your daddy, or you're just your dad.
Yeah. Just my dad.
Yeah, just the dad. D-A-D.
Yeah, that was, I think, the best thing.
That's so cool. I mean, really, like, wow, wowzers.
Yeah.
And look at you now. Look at you, shining like a harlot.
Well, I mean, we can have another conversation about this. There is, I think, an episode that I do want to read some of the stuff that I wrote. There's some funny shit in here, too.
I bet there is.
Yeah.
Because you've got that freaking dark humor that I love. We sent a video. I don't know if you remember. You and I were in the car, and I sent a video to a friend of mine, and you're bald, and we're singing to Peaches, "Fuck the Pain Away." Fuck the pain away. And we're just looking into the camera. I was like, God, we're so awesome. I love you have no hair and you're like, fuck the pain away. I'm still in shock that like people that I really want to revisit the dating apps because we should just discuss our experience on dating apps because
let's do it. Yeah.
I love to hear it. Yeah.
I mean, we have to embrace that suck too,
Oh my
because
gosh.
it wasn't the plan. I had always wanted my entire life to find somebody organically, see that guy and be like, there's my guy, or just talk to somebody at a bar and be like, oh my God. I mean, I don't go to bars anymore because I'm of a certain age and that's not how you meet people anymore. Or is it?
Not,
people, let me know. Do we still go to bars and meet people?
I think they do.
It may be in bigger cities.
For sure.
I know, like when I lived in LA or when I still go to LA, New York, yeah, we go to bars and hang out.
For sure.
So people.
I see people at bars and they're, doing the thing. And
yeah.
So I'm sure that is still a viable way. But
yeah, I guess it's not something I do much anymore because all my friends are partnered up and they don't go out. And I'm old. I like to be in bed by 9. So
amen, sister.
Yeah. Anyway,
oh my God, I love bed.
It's my favorite
wake up
thing in the
forward
world.
to bed.
In the Twilight books, and she's like,
yes, let's do this. Go into
Twilight.
real
quick. And she's like, oh, you don't have a bed in your bedroom. And he's like, because we don't sleep. And I'm like, man, I could never be a vampire. Going to bed is my favorite thing in the world.
So great. I love waking up, having my coffee and being like, oh, in very many hours, I will be able to get back into the bed.
Yes.
And read my book or,
I know. I'm like, just getting all snuggly with my book.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good. Anyhow, that's it.
Yeah, that certainly wasn't your plan because when we met, your plan was, were you doing culinary stuff? We were both working at the Electric Lotus Indian restaurant in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we were. I was 25, I think, when we met. I had just moved to LA. I had grand ambitions to be the next, let's just say, host.
Pamela Anderson.
Yep, that's it. I was going to get a titty job. She is adorable.
Isn't she phenomenal?
I love that woman.
I mean, I was thinking barbed wire period of time, but now, gosh, she is. How cool is that?
I mean, talk about a butterfly coming out of her chrysalis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, phenomenal.
she is just, so special. Such a special individual.
We encountered each other
at
the Electric Lotus.
And
both of us were
hit
servers.
It off.
We did. I knew you were nice to me. You were one of the only people that were really friendly to me when I got there. And I was new to LA, so I still had that friendships. Everyone will want to be my friend. I'm friendly and I'm lovely. And there were some.
I thought I had been beaten down by then, by the time we met.
You did. You had an edge. Like you for sure had a little bit of a protective barrier, which I think is what a lot of people walk around that city with. And I just remember really needing connection because I pretty much knew I didn't want to live in Los Angeles the morning I woke up after moving there. And then it was just a struggle. You had that roommate that painted the walls pink but it had like a bow. So it looked like a present. Yeah. He was phenomenal.
And we
doing
had
coffee enemas.
We had green shag carpet.
That's right.
And a white leather couch.
Which was
It was Pepto-Bismol pink.
Yeah, but it was dope.
He gave himself coffee enemas in the shower. And he would also slather himself in the Trader Joe's olive oil and then shave himself free of any body hair in the bathroom and leave clippings all over. Let me tell you,
in a rush.
I could not wait to live with a gay guy because I was like, gay guys are so clean. I love clean. He was the dirtiest motherfucker I've ever encountered in my life. And I could not wait not to be his roommate anymore. It was disgusting. I had to write him a note and I said, dear blank, I'll leave his name out. Please, when you're done with your coffee enema, don't leave it hanging in the shower and clean up.
What does he leave hanging in the shower?
The enema, the douchebag. That you put the coffee in and then you put it up your, he'd leave it hanging in the shower and then I'd be like, and please clean up the hair trimmings on the floor. It's just gross. It was just gross.
What was his response? Did he do it?
He did. Aww. And that ended our friendly.
Because you left him a hostile note?
I mean, I don't know how hostile it was. It was a note instead of me saying something just because I had difficulty, still do, having conversations with people.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it is hard. Yeah, that's how we met. But we did hit it off right away.
I remember it was Elijah's birthday. He was my partner at the time. We'd moved to Los Angeles together. And I wanted to cook him, make him, bake him pink cupcakes because he liked pink food. And so you said you'd let me do it at your kitchen. So I remember walking. I walked from Vermont, like Los Feliz, all the way to your house. And I remember that walk and it was far and I was sweating. And we were going to bake the cupcakes and then we were both going to go to work and you had a car. So because that's before we had a car.
Crazy times. We'll talk about our LA days on another
will.
episode.
It's fun because I don't have anyone to talk about it with. You don't get to talk about it. Like, nobody cares, you know. And I'm excited to get into that madness because it was fun. What a silly place. What a silly girl.
Back then, it was totally silly. It has completely changed.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
But it was not my town. And I was like, but I'm going to still live here for a long time.
I was there, I think, almost 12 years.
Yeah. It was a total of 8 for me, but it was
split
peppered
up
with trips home and lighting my life on fire and watching it burn. I'm grateful to hear the full story because I
left a lot out.
Of course. But to get the timeline.
That was the timeline.
Mm-hmm. And I can imagine that people that have been diagnosed with cancer, have experienced it, will love to hear just someone else's process of it, you know, because I tell you, the support you find with people is with connection and understanding of what you've been through. That's what life is about, I find.
Yeah.
So,
and I just want to quickly say that had it not been for you, I think recovery would have been that much more difficult. You were the one who, when you were out here, you saw that I was struggling and you signed me up for a support group.
Yeah.
No one had ever mentioned to do that or just done it. You didn't even ask. You just did it.
And I'm like, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
You're going to like
it. That is the best thing. And if we can go back to the helpers, if you know somebody that's going through something, reach out to them and say, I'm here for you. Don't ask them, what do you need? How are you feeling right now? Because 90% of the time, 99% of the time, they're not going to know. They're going to be agitated, irritated, scared, tired, fatigued, whatever it is. So for me, I found the helpers that would just say what they were going to do and then follow through and do it. Mm-hmm. I had one dear friend, LaDawn, who said, hey, are you home? I'm coming over with my vacuum. You don't even have to acknowledge me. Oh. She'd show up with her Dyson, come in for 20 minutes, vacuum my house, and leave.
LaDawn!
Yeah. And then other times she would just say, are you home? I'm dropping soup off. Or other friends that are say, are you home? I'm dropping food off. If you're not, I'll put a cooler on your front porch. Just people to show up and
do.
Or other people being like, I've hired help to come and mow your front lawn. They're taking care of it for 4 months. You don't have to do a thing. It's just amazing. And that was my friend Darcy.
Hell yeah, Darcy.
I can't say loud enough. Just do. And if you're afraid, then also don't take things personally. If the friend you're trying to help lashes out at you or doesn't acknowledge a text or a phone call or this or that, do not take it personally. It's not you. Just stop asking, how are you? And rephrase your questioning.
Do something.
Make it actionable and just do and drop off groceries. And the best type of food to deliver are shelf-stable frozen foods. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as much as
filet mignon and lobster.
Yes, absolutely. Caviar, too.
And
champagne.
Caviar. Yeah. Champagne. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Tito's. Fuck it.
But, I found that everyone knows I love potato chips. So they got me all kinds of potato chips. But honestly, it was not the best thing for me because then I had a house full of potato chips and I should not be eating that. So also be mindful.
But that's on you. You got to throw those potato chips away. You bring the potato chips. Do what you got.
That's not how I was raised. We were raised in a family where you do not throw things away or waste. So, and then I had somebody, and I don't even know who the fuck it was, but they had the audacity to buy me unsalted kettle potato chips. Who buys unsalted chips?
I do. I hate super salty chips. Yeah.
Maybe
they taste delicious to me with that.
Oh, ew.
That's what you get.
Unsalted chips? Seriously?
Oh, yeah. I don't like too salty, like capers, olives. I don't like anything that's got that much salt.
All right. Well, I thought.
I'm better than you. I
guess you are. I'm so sorry for saying that. I really thought that. Shame on the companies for making that unsalted chip, but I guess
now
people
you're
like
shaming.
Them.
We're like, do the things, help out, go for it. And she's like, don't buy potato chips. Don't do the salted thing. You might as well burn in hell if you're not getting salt on your chips, bitch.
All right. Never mind. I'm sorry. I take all that back.
Yeah.
I apologize to you, Courtney. It was probably you. You probably left them here. And I was like, now I have to eat these unsalted chips.
No, I think I bought those Trader Joe popcorn that I could not get enough of. And now I've not yet been able to find them again.
Was it the cheddar one?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you some of that.
I've looked at the Trader Joe's here. We don't have them.
Well, that's an East Coast, West Coast thing.
I guess.
I'll buy you some. I'm going to send you a care package. All for doing this podcast with me.
Well, the pleasure is all mine.
All right.
You sparkly angel. I'm so glad you didn't die from cancer.
Thanks. Me too.
It's really silver linings.
It is silver linings. I'm still here. We're making this happen.
Your hair is amazing. But I'm telling you, I've never met a bald woman that was more beautiful than you. And also, your hair is a side note of your face. You know what I mean? And I feel like for me, my hair is kind of like, now I'm doing this adorable thing.
I like your fringe. It's hot.
I mean, it's real cute. Something. It's certainly something. But, the long dark hair has always been my thing. So if you shaved my head, which Jonathan has asked seriously, he would love me to shave my head. And I'm like, I would do it, but maybe no. I don't think so. Because then you have to go through all the stages of short, and some of them would be cute, but
yeah, that's another conversation. Oh my God. Growing your hair back out is the worst thing in the world, especially after cancer.
If you'll send me the photos of the evolution, I'll put it to music and make a little video of you're losing your hair and then bringing it back, and then
I'll do that. And then I'll give you the login information for our Instagram and our TikTok. And girl, you can feel free to upload as you like.
Famous last words. Emily, we got kicked off of TikTok. My bad. Oops, daisies.
Oh, well, we tried.
My bad.
You can find us on, let's see.
Your local newspaper.
The wanted ads.
Classifieds. Yeah, what is that even called? What is the classifieds?
The classifieds. The wanted? I was thinking most wanted. You can find us on the FBI's 10 most wanted list.
What am I thinking of? Classified. That's classified.
It is the classifieds.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not. Yeah. So when something is, I'm sorry, that's classified.
It's a different meaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are two. Okay. Whoa.
English
words
language.
Are weird. Especially when you start saying it over and over again, and you're like, classifieds.
Yeah, I know.
Or welcome?
I had to remember how to spell red the other day.
Red.
I was like the color.
Yeah.
Like READ. No, that's not right.
No.
And then I'm like, is that chemo brain or menopause brain?
Right.
Anyway.
There's no telling.
Yeah.
Am I just stupid, or is it perimenopause?
If the teenagers I live with. Yeah.
Yeah. She's fucking dumb.
Yeah. I know. Ask my boyfriend.
Oh, we should have an episode where we make them be in the thing for a second.
Oh, maybe.
Wow, you had to process that real quick. You're like, whew. Yeah. Mine, because we work in an office together. His business is his side. It's one big long desk. It's pretty cute. So then we can hold hands while we work.
Oh,
just kidding.
How
we
sweet.
You don't do that shit. Anyway, another episode.
Yeah.
Yay! I think it went well.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thanks to everybody for listening in, downloading this episode, and tune back in for the next one. Until then, Courtney, you got any other questions, comments?
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think of something good, but the perimenopause is like, no.
All righty, girl.
God. What a good ending.
All right, everyone. That
wasn't the plan.
That wasn't the plan. And we will talk to you next week.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, bye.
Bye.